my Z followers, and welcome back to the question where you have the questions and I have the answers. And today's question is family, the blood, like people we're related to, or is family the people you make connections with along the way, like friends or teachers, gurus, life, uh, inspirers? I don't know. I'm getting bad with words. It's early in the morning. Okay. Uh, in my opinion, it's a bit of both. Like, like I feel like I feel as if there is a something you can gain from both. Like there's a familial connection to both. And there's family, the people who are there and care about you and everything. I mean, that's what we've been told, as probably the dictionary says too, but I didn't look up the dictionary definition. So, in my opinion, I feel like there is something to be gained from both. Like the people you are related to, grew up with, you have that connection with them, albeit it be good or bad, they influenced your life some way. And there's bound to be at least one good person you're related to. One person that you would choose above everybody else, that you would save in your family. You know? Or even if they did treat you badly, you could still have that connection to them. So I'm sure that's called emotional codependency. It's not healthy, but that's all you. I'm not going to get into that today. But I feel like the blood relatives are sort of like a family because you are close with them in ways that they aren't close with other people because you grew up with them. Like you could hate their living guts, but also at the end of the day, you could be the only person to like truly know who they are or truly just know that person of them, you know? And then for connections, I feel like that's also family because those are the people you choose to let into your life and people that do care about you outside of your family, or maybe they don't care about you, or maybe they're with you during that time in your life when other people aren't, and maybe they leave right afterwards, but for that time they are family, and for that time they are like the closest person in your life, and that's something that's beautiful. The fact that we can have such intricate connections to people that we would even consider them as close as like a blood relative is just beautiful. And I feel like friends, the people, anybody who just influences your life is a family member in a way. Like even your absolute arch nemesis who you hate and who you've been like rivals with forever, that's sort of like familial connection because you're with them every day. They're an integral part of your life and you know them probably better than anybody else. And so I feel like there's not, like, once again, I feel that with most of my questions, not just one or the other. It's like a gray area where, yes, blood is family because you're genetically related to them. But also it's because you're forced to grow up with them and you know everything about them. Like, not everything, everybody has their own secrets, but you probably know a lot more about them than anybody, like, they work with or anybody they are friends with or whatever. Like, you have that connection, so even if you do hate them, there is a sense of like sympathy or empathy or whatever. There's that knowledge behind that emotion you feel for them. And it's sort of like friendship. Like there are friendships that go like that, or like arch enemies who go like that, or people you absolutely hate who go like that. If you feel a certain emotion towards somebody, it's because you connect with them deeply. And I'm saying that like, I'm not saying family is like a good thing, I'm saying family people who you can connect with deeply in one way or another. Because not all families are good. Not all families get along perfectly. So I'm not going to go and say, hey, friendships are, closer than family, because that's wrong. Because not every relationship is going to be absolutely perfect. There's going to be downsides, there's going to be negative relationships, and that's okay. It's okay to have those people who were your best friends and you had a falling out, because there's still that sort of family connection, because families do that too. They're like super close and they have a falling out. And it's unrealistic to say that friendships are closer than family because you all interact the same way. Like maybe not at the same time, like maybe your mother's in the process of disowning you by the time you meet like your absolute soulmate. Not to say that the soulmate's more family than your mom is, because you've had so many other times. You're just caught up in the negative part right now and the good part there. You know, like a year from now, your mom could be like your best friend coming over to bake pies every weekend, and your boyfriend could be off cheating on you or whatever. It's not, it's like a mixture of good and bad things. It's anybody you've had like an emotional connection to one way or the other, which I believe really is family. So you can have, open up and have those connections with people. You know, something that isn't family is those like work people you see every day. People who just be like, oh, hey, you know, how's the weather? That's not family because you're not really opening up to them. They're not opening up to you. There's no real connection there. So, I'm just rambling now, but you get it. There's, and the process is blood or is it connection that's the most like family? I think it's both. It's an emotional connection. So yeah, I guess it mostly is connection, but it can be with either. You know, it's just that blood, you sort of forced into these connections with people because you basically go through this process of knowing them your whole life until you can realize, oh, I can have family people outside of that. So I think it starts with blood connections and then it goes up from there. And I'm sure it says, be happy. I don't know if you can see that, but be happy, have a great day. And I know times are hard now, especially with all the politics and everything, depression, everything. I'm telling you, it does get better. Now everyone's telling you this, it gets better, but you're amazing, you're beautiful, you're strong, you're talented, you're absolutely smart and wonderful, and I love you. And yes, everything is hard now, but a year from now, it'll be great. Uh, and I'm telling you that because people need to hear it, you know? Maybe you're lonely now, maybe you don't know who you are right now, and that's perfectly okay. And I know decisions are hard, and I know finding who you are is hard, but it can be done, and you just need to not listen to the outside influence, which I know is hard because your brain picks up on everything, but like, and it's hard being somebody different than who you were because you feel the pressure to be that person who you were, but you're not that anymore, and you need to be assertive and stand up for that. You'll never be afraid to say no. Definitely never be afraid to say no, but also never be afraid to say yes when you want to. That's like my PSA for today. I love you all. So long and thanks for all the fish.